Hey y'all, and welcome to Scrappin with Sheri. I wanted to do a special Throwback Thursday because I'm feeling really reminiscent right now. This past weekend, I celebrated my 26th year doing Creative Memories. I had 21 ladies who joined me for 3 days of scrapping and eating and just having a good time thinking about where Creative Memories started and where it is now. Now, one thing that I mentioned to them was when I started doing Creative Memories in 1997, we had to fill out paper order forms for the company, and we had to fax those orders into the company and then wait about 3 weeks to get our products. What a change that's been. Today I send an order in on the internet very quickly, and I'll probably have those products by the end of the week or early next week so I can start making new ideas. That's a change definitely for the better. We also taught beginner classes in the old days, and that's something that Creative Memories is bringing back now. So I taught some beginner techniques this weekend that were really well received. We had a good time. I wanted to show you a couple of my albums from the very beginning and then show you a few of my albums now to show you where those things have come in the last 26 years. I hope you enjoy the Creative Memories products, and I hope you'll enjoy this edition of Throwback Thursday. Until next time, happy scrapping. So here's a little blast from the past. When I started scrapbooking with Creative Memories products in 1997, and I went to my first beginner class, the triangles were all the rage. You went to the beginner class and you did a page, you got a couple of triangles and a set of stickers, and you made your little page with them. This is not actually my first scrapbook page because my first one was a 12 by 12. This is a 12 by 15 size, and you can tell it's a little bit longer because I opted to go with a larger book thinking that was the best bang for my buck. And I did get more pictures on a page, but I want you to look at how I traced them with templates, cut them out. I used funky scissors on the corners, did a lot of circles and ovals, used ovals with the funky scissors, and my stickers just kind of flew all over the place. Now, one thing I did do really well in my old scrapbooks was I did a lot of writing. I put people's names. I wrote details about things. One thing I don't like is the stickers just flying all over the page because I wanted to be sure that I used up every little piece on a sticker strip before I turned the page. I also don't necessarily like the fact that I have so many different shapes on the page. To me, that is very distracting from my pictures. But that's what we did back in the day. You also notice there's no wallpaper. I have the plain white page behind all of my decorations. Now look at this. Looks like I intended to get as many shapes and pictures on a page as I could. I've had people ask me, are you going to redo this album at some point in time? And I said, no. To me, done is better than perfect. I don't love the way it looks, but I also don't have copies of all these pictures, and they're not digital. Those were old film pictures. So there's not a good way to redo all of them. So I guess this one will stay as is and will serve as a reminder of things not to do. Now you notice I did get into eventually just doing more straight pictures with some corner rounding rather than all the multitudes of shapes. So in contrast, let me show you a page I just did a couple of weeks ago with my granddaughter. One thing that I do now is I use a pretty background on almost every single page. I do use the Spargo pages in my scrapbook because I like the not quite white, but I do love a subtle patterned design paper. Now when we cut any kind of circles or ovals, we've got a beautiful cutting system that does that perfectly. We don't have to trace them and cut them with scissors anymore. I have learned to cluster embellishments instead of having things flying all over my page everywhere. And we've got beautiful border stickers and embellishments that are just fantastic for adding little details to your page. I do add more titles now because we have so many title options. But one thing I am not as good about doing now is the journaling. I just put the date on this one so I'll know how old she is. But I guess this one didn't really need a lot of journaling to begin with. So one thing I've tried to be more mindful of the last few weeks is doing a lot more journaling. So There are pros and cons to the old style. We did emphasize journaling a lot more when I first started Creative Memories. Tell the story behind the pictures. And that's something I've been trying to get back to, is telling the story that the pictures don't tell. I would encourage you to do the same. And I will be doing a video about some creative ways to do journaling very soon. So be looking for that too on our Scrappin with Sheri channel. Until next time, happy scrapping.